Today we're going to talk about the most important topic that there is. Thank you, Sis, for bringing it up. Today we're going to talk about discipline. Every one of the videos that we've done, everything that we've discussed, all falls back on the possibilities lying in the hands of your personal discipline. Okay? And I use acronyms all the time to describe a word rather than having a definition. It breaks it down as far as it's easy to remember and helps you apply the things that you need to think about, the things that you need to do, the things that you need to apply to your everyday life, personal and business. Okay, so with discipline, what does it mean? It means driving in strong, consistently, preparing long-term investments needed every day. Not just sometimes, not just next week, not just next year, not just, hey, when I want to. Okay? If you have something laid out that you know that needs to be done, personal, career, long-term. Okay? So why do I say long-term investments needed every day? Okay? Because investments that you make every day is the discipline that you're going to apply to what it is that you do, whether work, family life, you're going to give it your all, you're going to go in there and you're going to do what it takes, no matter what. No matter what. Okay? So the discipline itself is what's needed to carry it out. So what are we carrying out? It's going to start back to what I was talking about before with you need that belief. Okay? Number one, belief. Okay? And it's in line with your talents, your gifts, your abilities. Okay? What were you trained to do? What do you have within you that you want to apply to what you're trying to achieve in your personal life and in business life? You know, your family. You know, what do you want to accomplish for your family? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to live? You know, what kind of school you want them to go to? What kind of sports you want them to play? What kind of careers, you know, do they have aspirations about that they want to achieve? Okay? And then what are you doing to ensure that that's going to be possible? Okay? So that becomes a discipline as far as sometimes families have to make sacrifices to benefit the next one coming up. Okay? Or to benefit the one that's next to you. Okay? And then with our gifts and our talents and our abilities, you know, what are we doing? What are we believing in as far as, hey, this is what I am. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to be. Okay? And nothing, absolutely nothing is going to stand in that way. Not the person you're with, not the person you want to be with, not the job you currently have. Nothing should stand in the way of what it is that you believe in. I stress on this, I stress on this, and I stress on this because there's too many of you that don't know what you want, don't know what you believe in. You're changing, one bandwagon, one bandwagon, one bandwagon, one bandwagon, and you're just always jumping from one to the other, and you don't know who you are. Okay? You're just a little jester running around amusing everybody. Okay? You know, pleasing everybody else. Please yourself. Find a belief. Okay? And then once you find what you want it is that you believe in, let's talk career right now. Okay? What's it going to take for me to be there? Okay? And then in the personal life. Okay? What's it going to do for me to sustain this family? Okay? People are going to tell you what it takes to be where you need to be. Okay? So what are you going to do? Are you listening? Okay? In business, your customer's always going to tell you what it is that they need. I don't care if you're in sales, if you're building a house for someone, if you're welding something together for someone, if you're wiring somebody's house, they're going to tell you what it is that they need. Or are you listening to them? Or are you just walking in there with your own ideas and like, oh, hey, this is what it's going to be? Are you listening? Are you paying attention to the other side? Okay? Again, going back to the eyes being the greatest mirror that you can ever look into. Okay? What everybody else sees is not always going to be what you thought you were actually portraying. Okay? So, and then now in the listening, are you listening completely to where you're heeding instruction? Are you heeding the instruction? Are you listening? Okay? And then just because somebody's telling you things that you don't want to hear, like I do often, quite often, I don't care. I'm going to tell you what it is, how it needs to be done, what I feel about it. Okay? Period. I'm not going to be like, oh, hey, yeah, that looks great when it don't. Hey, you did a good job when you didn't. I'll point out maybe a good job that you did a part of it. But I don't sugarcoat anything. Okay? I believe in discipline. Everybody's just wanting the easy road. Everybody's so soft today. It's insane. Okay? And it's destroying so many possibilities for you, for myself. Okay? There's always that hindrance there. So what's your discipline going to be like to where you can sustain any kind of garbage that is thrown in your yard? How are you going to remove it? Okay? And then now, once you're removing that garbage and you plan to remove that garbage and you're going through everything else and you've actually starting to listen to your heeding instruction, how are you preparing, training for that? Okay? And then the discipline is going to relate to your personal character. It's going to relate to your knowledge. It's going to relate to your interaction with other people, how you speak. Okay? And your actions are always going to reflect everything. Are you training? Are you practicing? Okay? Me and Seth were talking about, because I do the savage races in the mud, the tough mudders. Okay? And you don't just wake up and say, hey, I'm going to go out here and run this obstacle course. That's probably going to, break me down without properly training for that. Okay? What kind of discipline do you have? Look at the military. It's to beat you down and beat you down and beat you down to where it's just like, hey, I can take this. Okay? It isn't just to beat you down because they feel so little of you. It's to create that discipline in your mind to where, hey, I can take what's here and go with it. Okay? They'll train you to make your own way. Okay? Sustain everything. Okay? Martial arts. They sit there and they just punch, they just punch, and they just keep hitting and hitting and hitting. And it causes small fractures in your bones. And what that does is a bone, when it's broken, it actually grows back stronger. Okay, but it's that discipline, knowing that, hey, I'm gonna get to where I need to be. Okay, I'm gonna become that person that this needs to have as my belief of who I am. Hey, I'm champion. Okay, but on the flip side of that, though, the discipline always goes with the mind. To where, hey, I'm not just out here to hurt people. Okay, I have to create that discipline in my mental toughness to where, like I was saying as far as the military. Are you going to be able to think clearly in the worst of times? When everything is just pushing you down and holding you down and just grinding you into the ground, or are you going to be able to think clearly to pull yourself out of that? Okay, and that's where the discipline comes in at. Okay, growing up, sustaining the life that I did and the abuse that I did, I took so much physical abuse to where, when I went into fighting, I touched on this before as far as Mike Tyson. That's why I love the story so much. Okay? Because there was no discipline there. None. I went in there, I'm an angry person. I just wanted to hurt people because of how I felt. Okay? I didn't have that mental toughness. Okay? And Steve Jordan, until he pulled me aside and reflected everything as far as the things I need to start applying to my life, that I don't have to be angry all the time and so hateful all the time. Okay? And I started making that transition to where I understood, it wasn't my fault. Good Will Hunting. It wasn't my fault. Okay, so how did I have to prepare for my mental toughness to where I could have that discipline, to where I did heed instruction? I had so many individuals that were trying to guide me down the right path, but I didn't care. I just figured that they were going to betray me as well, just like everybody else did in my life. Okay, so there was no discipline there. I was self-disciplined, and look where that got me. But so in the progression of all of that, the discipline applied when I finally started heeding instruction, and I opened my ears instead of my mouth, I started progressing through. Okay? So how did I prepare and train? I started educating myself. I started doing self-studies. I started going to college. Okay? Hey, join the military. It's things that I had that belief, because others finally believed in me. Okay? And then when I listened, to where it didn't matter what anybody else thought, I still could hold to that belief. It wasn't me believing that, hey, it depends on what they're doing. Okay? I had a discipline that was so weak that I needed other people around me to sustain myself or to push me towards my goals. Okay? I didn't have that drive to wake up in the morning and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to get out and do this regardless of what's out there. Okay? It took time. Okay? I didn't just wake up one day. It's discipline. It's the driving in strong consistently. I don't go into work Monday early and then skip Tuesday and Wednesday thinking what I did on Monday was good enough and then show up Thursday like, oh, hey, here I am. No. Consistent. Consistent. Every day, you're going in there. And then the next step, are you reciprocating? Are you reciprocating back out everything that you were given? The knowledge, the instruction, the showing you how to do it, the hands-on. Okay? Are you reciprocating all that back to you? Are you still reciprocating everything back to your family? You know, they're making sacrifices as well, so are you willing to make that sacrifice to reciprocate back to them the things that they deserve? Okay? And sometimes it's like, well, hey, I'm giving all of this. What do? Hey, I go to work and I make the money to come in here and sustain the family. Does that mean that you just take your shoes off and hit the couch when you get to the house? No. You know, you still have to show that discipline to where, hey, okay, that was work. I come home now. I'm going to be the spouse that I need to be. I'm going to be the father or mother I need to be. Okay? It doesn't just stop because you come home and the other person's responsible for the upkeep of you. Okay? So when you're reciprocating everything, it's going to fall back to you. It's going to fall back to you. It's going to fall back to you. And it's going to keep on going back. Are you respecting everyone around you? Whether it be your friends, your family, your co-workers, your competition. Okay, there has to be respect among competition. Has to be. It's that discipline. Okay? Why do you think you see a Walgreens and a CVS? It's the same kind of company. But they're always on the same corners. It's respectful competition. Okay? They have discipline because they have faith in themselves. They have that belief. Hey, people are going to use my stuff regardless of them being across the street. Okay? My kids are going to come to me regardless of how I come home from work. I'm going to be called on when somebody actually needs somebody to come out there and help them. Okay? I'm going to take that extra task at work because they have faith that I'm going to do that. It's out of respect. I'm going to show up on time because, hey, you gave me a job. Hey, I'm going to lead you the right way because you trusted me. It's my position. Okay? It's done out of respect. And if you don't have that respect, you can expect nothing from up here. Nothing. Okay, if I'm not listening to you, if I'm just over talking you or just cutting you off and you're trying to explain to me, give me some instructions, I'm cut off. There's no discipline. And that's why all of these run in line with each other in order to progress you forward, to progress you forward, to progress you forward, and to keep on going beyond that. It's needed every day. Discipline is needed every day. You have to be mentally strong every day. You have to be prepared for what the day is going to bring you. Okay? Everybody likes the same little routine. Everybody likes the routine. It's easy, it's easy, it's easy. Well, what happens if it stopped? What happened if one implement was put into your life to where it altered everything that you were so used to? What would happen? Would you break? Would you fall apart? Okay? Are you ready for it? Okay, so then that brings us to number 6. Are you doing that? Are you giving back everything? Are you bleeding? Keep talking crazy, you will be. Are you breathing? Sweating? To get it done. Are you putting forth that effort? Are you driving forward regardless of anything in your way to follow your belief, to show everything that you've listened and everything that you've guided and everything, all the instruction that you've been given? Are you preparing? Or are you sitting there after you're going through training for what it is that you need to do? Okay? If you have a dream, a gift, a talent, an ability, are you doing what it takes every day to make sure it happens? It's simple. And if you say no, and I'm looking at half of you, and I know you're lying, okay? You are not doing everything it takes. Coming in at 9 o'clock when the job starts at 9 o'clock is not doing everything that it is to maintain everything. Okay? Straggling into your house and just Sitting down and not, sharing family time is not doing everything. You spend more time at work than you do at home. It's a fact of life. You spend more time with coworkers than you ever will with your family. Okay? So are you taking advantage of the short time that you do have together to make the most of it? Or are you putting in that breath, that sweat and blood to actually make everything happen for what you guys want to achieve in the long term? What is the investment? What is the investment you're giving every day to make those things happen? Period. And through it all, is what you do consistent? That's what it all boils down to. Is what you're doing consistent? Is what you do when you go to work every day consistent? Are you reliable? Can they count on you to be there? When you're doing your job, are there errors all the time? Okay? Or are you consistent? Are you coming in every day, giving it all on the sales floor, giving it all when you're carrying lumber, giving it all when you're cutting steel, giving it your all when you're climbing the ladders? Are you giving it your all? Or you're just kind of dragging through because you don't want to be there? Again, you've got to change your belief system. Go back to the cans and the wants that we were talking about yesterday. Is it something you want to do? Because if it's not, everything's out of whack. Okay? Find the discipline. Apply it to your life. Go find your belief. Go find what it is that you want. Dig into yourself. Find your talents. Find your abilities. Find your capabilities. Build on that. Find out what it's going to take to become who you want to be. Educate yourself. Train yourself. Prepare yourself. More importantly, heed the instructions of everybody that's actually trying to give something to you and listen to them. Okay? And then continue to prepare. Continue to train for what that day is coming up. Make sure that you remain consistent in what you're doing. Pushing forward every day. Hey, it's not going to be easy. Okay? It's going to be hard. And be ready for that. If you tell yourself from day one that, hey, this is going to be difficult, at least you know to prepare yourself. Okay, but if you're going to give up, you might as well go ahead and just change your belief now. Okay? And then respect everyone that's in your way. Friend, family, loved one, enemy, coworker, employer, anyone. Because you can get something from everybody. Okay? You're going to learn more from what you don't want or what you're not than you will for what you have or what you are. Okay? I don't want to be like that. Change your character. Oh my God, I don't want to live like that. Change your ways. Okay? And then in all, as you're respecting everybody as you pass through, you can gain something from them. If I go take 50 jobs, and the reason I'm taking the 50 jobs is to study. Hey, how's this business work? So that I have my own. Okay? Or go in business with one. Or to pick up the different skills that is required to actually hold that trade myself. And am I being consistent in doing so? Simple. All right? I love you guys. You guys have a blessed day. Reach out if you need me. Let's get ready for the Savage Race.